When you picture someone holding a guitar, do you picture this? Do you picture me? Music is a muse that connects us cross-sectionally, like time. It goes on indefinitely as a shared expression that is present in our past and future. Artists who take a fragment of their own soul, transform into a guitar string that extends like a timeline. Those dots that run free in your mind. As you take those therapeutic dots that are like percussions to your eardrums to soften hard to process feelings. But what if I told you there are artists who hurt? The feelers of the world struck their name with a minor chord. More often than not, minorities with forgotten stories who become lost and further forgotten until the words in their songs being pulled from their tongue are misattributed to another. That's discrediting in the music industry. The sounds that aren't heard as it pierces and spikes a spineless mic of not only names, but artists. And not only artists, but pioneers that shaped the sound waves that tickled your ears. Yet, why is it when we think of grudge, we attribute Nirvana or Pearl Jam before before Tina Bell, the mother of grudge? Or Elvis Presley's rendition of Hound Dog before Big Mama Thornton? Or Frank Sinatra before Duke Ellington? We take big genres and associate them with even bigger names, but forgetting the small titles that paved the way. As we must cut up the past in order to understand the future. But what happens to the past when it's cut up into shreds? What happens to the majority when minorities are left as erasures of history? I wouldn't be here before you if I haven't experienced this before. So let me introduce to you my major chord. With jazz in one ear and alt in the other, I was the embodiment of sweet soul Taylor sounds that connected the neck of a guitar, strung with the sounds of Black and alternative culture. I was invited to an alternative concert. I was ignited to bathe in the stage lights, to breathe in the sounds until they were nearly digestible, but I didn't attend. I felt it was unattainable. I felt as if the light would dim me down, as if I was a music sheet being crumbled, then tossed into the pit of the crowd. I asked the industry, "Are you proud?" As the distance that stood between me and the stage would always remain out of reach. The loud cheers weren't for me, as it's been inflicted on people for so long, as it strips my people of their songs. I begin to beg the question, why do I feel like I don't belong? I was drawn to the sweet sea of tunes of the past, but then I remember that people like me tend to place last. It is not just a name, not being plastered to the rim of the album cover. Rather, years or decades of efforts being tarnished, and profits and royalties being tainted, until your soul is finally shaken by an industry that plays fake instruments. And you may sit back in your seat, tap dance your feet against the marble floor, and hopefully your eyes aren't wandering to the door, and instead question, what can you do to ensure that minority artists aren't forgotten? To take a guitar string and connect the space between the audience, the artist, and the stage. And not just simply fill in that space, rather join it. Online, there are communities, also known as subcultures, that preference inclusion, while accurately crediting who's representing the music industry, ensuring their names are preserved with ink and never shrink. If you connect yourself and insert yourself in those spaces, you will know the names that paved the way. So, you'll recognize Big Mama Thornton as the first rendition of Hound Dog, Tina Bell as the mother of grudge, or Duke Ellington as the founder of jazz. Because music is a muse that connects us cross-sectionally. So let's ensure people of all likes are remembered and struck like a major chord. Thank you.